All right, let's get started! This is the Bottoms of the Barrel comedy show here at Shakers 3160 North Clark. Bottoms of the Barrel, a show with no budget, no future, no morals. I like to say we're aiming low for success. Someone asked how low. I said, did a show occur? They said yes. I said, success. I don't promise good. I don't promise quality. I can sing better than a Kardashian. I know that much. I'm your host, Thomas Bottoms. We're here at Shakers. We have Jason behind the bar. Give a round of applause for Jason. He's serving us up. As I always like to say, life is too short to be sober. Definitely in these trying times. I don't like people in AA. I commend you. In these trying times of just like not taking a shot. Just taking a shot. Maybe that's why we have so many mass shooters. I don't know. Oh, that was horrible. Oh my God, what was it? What happens? I mean, there was that shooting at the Jewish synagogue in Pennsylvania, and our great president compared it to him having a bad hair day. And then there was that shooting in California, and I compared it to a bad hair day, but that bad hair day was so bad, like the entire town burned down the next 3 days. So what do you do when you have 3 bad hair days in one day in different parts of your body? Is that crabs? Mange? I don't know. I have decided to actively, I guess I've broken up with the news in a way that most people break up. Like over the summer, I had an issue where I was trying to give a friend a gift. I don't know, if I had something to give you, would you want that gift? And it was one of those, like, he wouldn't pick it up. He didn't want me to bring it to his house. It was one of those, oh, next time we hang out, just give it to me. When are we going to hang out? Oh, I'm busy. And eventually you reach the point of, I'm just going to keep this or regift it to someone else. There's homeless children out there. I'm sure they'll go for a Mario Kart poster. Of course, the guy was 39, so I don't know why I bought him a Mario Kart poster, but here we are. And I felt that way about the media and the news and this president, that, election day's going to change everything, election day's going to matter. And then election day came and it's like, no, what I need to change is get away from my phone. Mm-hmm. I hate being constantly interrupted. Why do I carry a device that interrupts me? I don't know, but some stuff still seeps through. Like the president didn't go to the World War I reunion, memorial in France. He didn't go to that. There was rain. And again, bad hair days. Gotta give the man credit. He also can't work or share an umbrella.
Bone Spurs.
But, yes, Mr. Bone Spurs. But I do have to say that maybe he didn't go because he thought Wonder Woman won World War I. That was such a great movie. Even though the theme is that evil and hatred isn't one man, and at the end of the movie, no, it was that one man. It was that British guy. We hate colonizers. It was followed up in Black Panther, okay, part 2. It's all that good stuff. What else is going on? I recently did a podcast called Cringeworthy. I was told to show up with raunchy stories, so I had to share my rape revenge story. Instead of I spit on your grave, it was I poop on your penis. And had to explain the time a friend of mine had terminal crabs. He's still alive, but so many relationships died because of it. Ivanka Trump, apparently she did Hillary. And we're going to see if there's any fallout. I don't know about that. People ask me how I feel about Ivanka Trump. I'm like, same way I feel about Mitch McConnell, Donald Trump, Paul Ryan. Hypocritical poop person. When they die, their family can mourn. Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't shop for me for empathy. I'm not the one I gave at the office. I give to the homeless. I got to be a comic book assistant recently at a Comic-Con. Yes. It was a gay erotic publisher, if you will.
Hello.
So there I am at a family-friendly function selling porn. I did Papa proud, I really did. Now, I had a good time. I'm not upset about the experience. It was just one of those, I was paid $10. I was given a free book, and I had to tolerate the author for 10 hours. I didn't know tolerating the author for 10 hours was going to be the tough part. He was off his medication. I knew when the convention started at 9 a.m. and I had dipped into my flask at 9:15, it was going to be a long day. So hopefully this won't be a. So he behaved very well. He did. Like if you stood in front of his table but you weren't looking at his books, he would photograph you and put it on Facebook. He would openly call customers looky-loos to their face and then complain why were they looking at the product instead of buying it. And I used to work in a sex shop in Boys Town, okay? When you sell porn, the hard sell is not the way to go. So we're gonna bring up our first comedian. She is new to this show, but I think she brought half the audience. Give a round of applause for Audrey Froman.
Can we hear it one more time for our host? So, my name is Audrey. I know I look like one of those girls who makes homemade granola and collects pins for her backpack. That's just because I do both of those things. I don't know if any of you have noticed, it's been getting colder here in Chicago. You seem like an observant bunch. This shouldn't come as news. It's been getting colder, and I think that the only thing that Chicagoans like talking about more than talking about the weather is talking about how well they're handling it. You know, it hits below 15 degrees, and everyone just sort of walks around Millennium Mile like they're a war veteran, you know, like, might be able to make it tonight, but I'm battling the common cold. Everyone's just parading around Chicago with like a cape made of used Kleenex. Person after person. Their weapon of choice, just Mucinex. No, it's true though. I'm originally from Connecticut, and what people say is true, right? People from the Midwest are crazy nice. People from the East Coast, they're just crazy. People in New York, I've seen people on the subway in New York smoke weed all the time. I've seen people on the L in Chicago, they also smoke weed. The only difference is that people here will offer you some. We've all been there, like just a little head nod, you know. No, but I like I said, I'm from Connecticut, so I do a little bit of flying between Chicago and home. Has anybody here ever flown the airline Ryanair? Woo! Okay, so I'm surprised you're still alive. Thank you so much for joining us. Life is precious. For those of you who do not know, Ryanair is one of those airlines that you fly when you're too cheap to rent a divvy bike. They don't give you peanuts on board, the seats don't recline, and they make you pay for oxygen. In addition, there's no water and there's no screens on the seats in front of you. My theory is that Ryanair's idea of in-flight entertainment is just a dehydrated passenger. The last time I flew Ryanair, we landed, and it was a bit turbulent, which was fine with me. I don't go to amusement parks often, so I kind of got that whole thing out of my system. But in addition to the turbulence, there's this sound throughout the cabin. Bum-ba-da-dum. I looked around. I was like, are we celebrating the fact that we landed? Something that I thought was very much included in the price of the ticket. It reminded me of those times when people celebrate fathers for spending time with their children. You know what I mean? Like, I'm pretty sure when you helped create life, this was part of the deal. Like, all it takes is a guy jogging in Millennium Park with a stroller, and people passing by are like, It seems we have a saint among us. So I am a college student. Thank you so much. Yes, I love my parents can go broke so that I can read Marx. But at least after reading Marx, like, I know why they're going broke, capitalism. But no, I am a college student. I recently moved off campus into an apartment. My roommates are my best friends. My best friends are my roommates. I like to just mix a little bit of church and state sometimes just to keep things interesting. And no, it's fun. I love my roommates. I don't really know the people who live in our apartment, though. The people above us are of some sort of like frat entity. The people below us are like a baseball thing. We're basically surrounded by testosterone on all sides. The only thing I know about my neighbor is what my mom told me. She said that she saw, quote, two cute boys in the lobby as she was helping me move in. But that really doesn't tell me anything because my mom's version of cute is just any guy under 20 with a pulse. But I did meet one of the guys in our building. I went upstairs a couple nights ago to tell them to turn down their music, because I'm fun. And I knocked on the door and he emerged wearing a face mask that was definitely from Sephora. And I just kind of sat there like, you want me? Not as different as we thought, huh? No, he's fun. But my roommates and I have some communication issues. A couple weeks ago, my roommate said, would anybody like anything from Amazon? I'm placing an order. I said, oh, yes. Can you please order me something I can clean the shower with? Because I'm fun. And she said, no problem. I was imagining something, this long so I could reach all the nooks and crannies. And about a week later, the package arrives. I know what you're thinking. No, Alia doesn't have Prime. And she says, okay, the package came. It's in the bathroom. I sprint to the bathroom. Literally feels like Christmas morning. I'm just joking. I'm Jewish, so I don't know what that feels like exactly. But I can imagine, So I get to the bathroom and I open up the package. And remember, I thought it was going to be something long, what was in the box was like an extra large toothbrush, like something you might use to clean the mouth of a horse. And I don't know if any of you have ever been like severely disappointed by a package or like a gift before. This wasn't my first rodeo. A couple years ago, my mom gave my sisters and me huge wrapped presents one night for Hanukkah. My mom's way of telling us that we were going to start doing our own laundry was by giving us our own personal laundry baskets. I definitely get my fun side from her, I think. No, that was a good year. Our verbal communication obviously stinks, but I will say our nonverbal communication skills are really good. I've become super skilled, not trying to brag, at sending passive-aggressive texts followed by nondescript emojis. Just something like, who left their hair in the drain? Salsa woman. There's a man in our living room who left the door unlocked last night. Blue car. Just something to soften the blow. Try it. No, it's good though. It's good. The other night, my roommates wanted to get me to, quote, go out with them. They're like, you haven't seen daylight in 4 days. Come outside. No, they wanted to get me to go to a party. And I don't do so well at frat parties. They're really dark and everyone is super pushy. Once the clock strikes midnight, every drunken frat bro just thinks that they're Moses and we're all the Red Sea. Just move. I gotta tell DJ Derek to play Drake again. I wish I were joking. But the real reason that I don't do so well at frat parties is because I had a bat mitzvah, so I know what a good time is. Thank you so much.
Audrey Froman, everybody, give her a round of applause. We're going to keep this going. We're going to bring up our next comedian, Carman Nibarger.
All right, thank you, Thomas. So I just want to do a real quick mic check that everybody can hear me over the crinkling of my codex. Yeah, just gonna address the elephant in the room, which is my period, because I'm on it. I'm always on it. Always flipping on it. Yeah, and I don't even get PTO for it. Yeah, so where are my liberal arts majors at? Yeah, holler! Yeah, so how do we like unemployment? Do we love it? Do we just flip and love it? Yes. I was an English major, and when I was in college, my family, God love them, they tried to warn me. They were like, what are you going to do with that? And I was like, I'm just going to, write and, just, serve my craft. Wait tables if I have to. I'm an artist. And they're like, no, really, what are you going to do with that? And I thought I could hang. I was like, I'll do what I got to do. You know what? Years later, after waiting tables and doing all these, customer service jobs, I developed a lot of ankle edema and lower back pain, and it was like, man, I just want a cubicle job, man. I just wish I'd majored in business. Meanwhile, the business bros who do all the hiring and firing, you go to the interviews, and you're like, yeah, but I was an English major, so I can do, critical thinking, and I can edit like nobody's business. I can write ads for you, and they're like, no, you should have majored in business. So anyway, I majored in nursing. I switched it up. I went to nursing instead, which is cool. I really recommend everybody do nursing because, I don't know, it's just, you get to see the world, in everybody's little point of view. You get to see all kinds of people and I've seen people, pick their arms off, because they're, oh my God, this is a bummer. You guys are like, I did not sign up for this, heroin intervention. Oh man, I don't know how I got off track with that. So, I used to smoke a ton of pot. Just circle back to that. And I loved it. I loved that it was illegal. I loved the ritual of it. I was like, nobody knows what we're up to. This looks like a cigarette. We're criminals. I was really into it until, so I bought a lamp. And I went to tell my friend about it. And it was a really cool looking lamp. It was curvy and brassy and just it looked antique and old. It was somebody's dead aunts. And I was like, yeah. So Gabe, guess what I got at the thrift store? And he's like, what? And I was like, because you see, I had forgotten the word for lamp. And so we got locked into the dumbest game of impromptu taboo ever. Because the only clue I could come up with was, you turn it on? You know. You turn it on. You turn it on! I didn't think of lampshade, I didn't think of light, I didn't think you plug it in, I didn't think of anything. It was just, you turn it on! I was like, I don't know what's going on with my weed. I think it's laced with Alzheimer's. So I've put down this stuff ever since then. So I do have this, chafing issue, so I've bought, I know, ow, chafing! We love it, it's hot! Literally, between the thighs, it's real hot! So I bought, some Hanes His Way boxer briefs. I was like, hey, if it's good enough for the dudes, it's good enough for me too. I got a size medium. The mediums didn't fit. They were too small. Which is a really weird thing when you're a woman wearing menswear and the medium is too small. Because you know the next size up is a men's large. As in, for a large man. Which, I don't know what I look like to you. But I'm not. I am not a large man. I don't care what Haynes says. I am not a large man. It's weird that you're quiet right now because I'm not a large man. I'm not. I am so sure that I'm not a large man that I feel like I could have stolen that whole 4-pack and gotten away with it. It would have been the caper of the century because everybody would be looking for a large man, which I'm not. Although I swear to God, you guys are probably live tweeting this. Carman Nibarger, large man, confesses to underwear crimes. So I do date every now and then. Ow! Ow! Even though the dating advice for women is just utter nonsense. It's a lot of like, play hard to get. Be coy. Don't be too available. Maybe don't even make eye contact. Don't learn his name. Don't tell him your name. Be a ghost. Which is just utter nonsense because it doesn't apply to any other avenue of life. Like, you would not go to a Denny's super hungry, not thirsty, hungry, and want the hungry man's breakfast. But then when the server comes by, can I get you anything? No. No. Oh, I've already had 5 brunches. I'm popular. I also know that advice doesn't work from experience because following that advice, I didn't get laid until I was 28. That's it, ladies. Don't sit in a corner. Go get you some. All right, I'm Carman. Bye.
Carman Nibarger, everybody, give her a round of applause. She mentioned her love of 420, and now we have reason to visit Michigan. Of course, it didn't work for Iowa tourism, so I don't know. Wait, no, it's not legal in Iowa. No. It did work for Denver tourism, but I messed that up. So we have now a reason to go to Michigan. Yay! I relate to your pain, Karma, about buying underwear. There's a lot of, as a gay male, they try to peddle to us different underwears. And they're like, oh, this is a large, or what's your waist? And so I buy by the waist, and it ends up being like a bikini brief. And like there's a I don't know if it's a waning moon or a moon that needs to be waxed, but it's just not attractive. And I should have known better because my butt was bigger than the salesman's head. It's like, if my butt bigger than your head, you can't buy me panties. We're going to bring up our next comedian. Give a round of applause for Carin Fishel.
It's good to be here. A little bit about me. I'm Jewish. And thank you. Starting out good. And I think the 2 best things about being Jewish are you don't have to spend all your money on Christmas and you never have to go camping. I really don't understand camping. Have we just maxed out on experiences that now we're just like, let's see what it's like to be homeless? I don't know about your family, but my family's idea of roughing it is sleeping in a bed without a duvet cover. When my sister goes on vacation, she'll actually bring a duvet cover with her just in case. And if there isn't one there, she'll put it under the blanket and slip inside of it like it's a sleeping bag. And that's what I call Jewish camping. I love my sister, though. We're very close. I'm actually really close with my whole family. And every year, my parents will rent a house in Michigan, and we'll all come. My parents, my brother, my sister, all our families. And it's really fun. But before we go, we always go on a really massive shopping spree to stock up. Because apparently there aren't any grocery stores in Michigan. And I kind of want to just read a few things from the shopping list because I think it's kind of interesting. Let's see what we got here. 4 sticks of European butter. 6 cases of Pellegrino from Costco, obviously. 8 packs of nitrate-free hot dogs. 10 boxes of Applegate organic chicken nuggets for the kids. And 12 cans of pole and line caught tuna, wild tuna, no salt added. I think my family's preparing for the yuppie apocalypse or something. Like imagine the sky turns black and all the Whole Foods markets disappear and you can only buy food from the 7-Eleven. You know, like those glistening hot dogs on the Roller Grill? Those are really good. Mm-hmm. Anyways. I used to use this dating app called J-Swipe. Has anybody heard of it? Cool. If you haven't heard of it, it's just like Tinder, but it's for Jewish people. The only thing that makes it just a little bit different, though, from Tinder is that when you match with someone, it shows an animation of a bride and groom being thrown off chairs in the air. So I'm assuming that some of you guys have been to a Jewish wedding before from your reaction. Yeah. If you haven't been, at Jewish weddings, we always do this dance called the hora. And the way that you dance the hora is everyone stands in a circle and holds hands and dances around, and in the middle of the circle, all the men take turns banging the bride. I mean, why do you think they call it the hora? But other than that, J-Swipe is like any other dating app, and when you know, like all dating apps, it's super exciting because when you first start out, there's just so many options, you know? Every new match is a potential future to fantasize about. It's like swipes of hope, right? Especially on J-Swipe because there's so many doctors on there. And, you know, and that's kind of why I use it because if I'm going to shop for a man, I might as well be picky. Also, just less holidays to deal with. But mostly I use it because I'm just really competitive. And if I marry a Jewish doctor, I win. I do, I win. I win the Jewish game of life. I do have a boyfriend. He's not Jewish, though, so I didn't win that game. But I still consider it a win because I'm 37 years old and I've been single most of my adult life. And, you know, I always think about, like, why that is. And I think my problem, though, has always been about expectations. But it's not my fault. Blame Disney, blame pop music, blame rom-coms. Because I always thought I'd just walk into a grocery store one day, bump into Freddie Prinze Jr., we'd lock eyes, fall in love, maybe there'd be a little bit of a misunderstanding. It would quickly be resolved. And that would be it. That's what I thought love was. But that's ridiculous. Because first of all, nobody shops in grocery stores anymore. I was reading recently in an article that like over 50% of shoppers in grocery stores are professional grocery shoppers. So that would mean that Freddie Prinze Jr. is a professional shopper for Instacart. That's impossible. You don't go from 10 things I hate about you to Instacart. I actually don't even know if he was in that movie. I love it. Hardcore Freddie Prinze Jr. fans always correct me with that joke. They're always like, he wasn't in that movie. But he was in that movie because it's all the same movie, guys. I'll close with this. My boyfriend moved in with me recently. Yeah, thank you. And it's really great because now I have someone to open jars for me. But I think my boyfriend is just a little bit insecure because he took it upon himself to tighten all the jars in the house. So now I can't open anything without his help. I was like, babe, you don't have to do that. There are better ways to prove yourself. Like pay rent. That's all I have. I'm Carin Fishel. Thank you so much.
Carin Fishel, everybody, give her a round of applause. Carin Fishel, I have to point out that having gone recently to the Pacific Northwest, oddly enough, being homeless is a life choice. Like when the weather is like 55 to 95 degrees all year round and it gets a little rainy, it's like, oh, I'll live in my tent and not bathe. And it's hard to invite them over because you don't want them on your furniture. Like my cats can roam wherever they want to, but you gotta kind of stay on the rudder. I won't be that person. But, yeah, we met somebody who lived in a bus. Yes, he lived in a bus, and occasionally he would drive down to San Francisco and supplement his income by doing porn, and then go back to the Pacific Northwest and live in a bus. And part of me was like, I like that freedom. The other part of me is like, I don't want to appear like a member of the Partridge Family. I don't have those vocals. I just don't. We're going to bring up our next comedian. This gentleman has helped me with many things, been a guest on my radio show, and somehow tolerates me. I guess I'm cooler than his son because I've given him weed. Give a round of applause for Phil Burns.
Gentlemen, please. So, somebody asked me earlier if I was prepared for the cold. And, you know, the weather's getting colder out and everything. I said, yeah. I've been married 3 times. I'm used to the cold. How many Ferris Bueller fans are in here? Woo! Are you the daughter of Abe Froman? No, you know who Abe Froman was? See Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Oh, I see. All right. I'll rewatch it.
In the restaurant, Chez Paul, which was an actual restaurant, when he said he was Abe Froman, the sausage king of Chicago. Yes, there you go. Yeah. That's what I was wondering. You kind of look like him a little.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'll just research.
So, anyways.
23andMe.
And what?
23andMe. Is it?
Oh yeah, I know what it is. I actually tried that app, but most of the people I know can't use that. They can't do the test because they don't know how to spit. So I've seen a lot of commercials on TV for ordering stuff online, like cars. Carvana? Has anybody used Carvana? To order a car online and buy it online? What happened to going to a car dealership and checking to make sure the back seat is the right size to have drive-in theater sex? Or if you're, and this might be a racist joke, if you're Italian, is it a 1-body or a 2-body trunk? Woo! You know what I mean? Yeah. So I mean, it's just amazing. I mean, you can order food Peapod, you can order groceries online. What happened to going to the grocery store, scarfing down a bag of grapes, and then leaving the bag in the lunch meat section? Or going to the deli, get some fresh cooked chicken tenders, and leaving that bag by the sodas? You know, that's what happens when you go grocery shopping stoned. You get up to the counter, you have empty bags of Oreos, and empty bags of Chips Ahoy, and a bottle of drain cleaner? Why? What's with the drink? I mean, it's always the rule of 3. Somebody told me, and I've done that. I have actually done, going in the bread aisle first, get a small loaf of bread, and then go to the lunch meat section. And I hate pre-processed lunch meat, but when you're stoned, you don't care. The only thing is you have to find a small bottle of ketchup and hide that somewhere. So, I did my patriotic duty. I voted.
Yeah.
Early voting. Yes. And then on election day, I was an election judge.
Ooh.
Wasn't that bad? Okay. I almost wanted to find a judge's robe and a white wig like they have in England, and come in like Sammy Davis Jr. on Laughing. Here come the judge. Here come. But I think that would have gone a little too far. I might have gotten in some trouble. But the thing about election judges, they come in. They have to be in the ward that they're registered to vote in. Now, where I was a judge at, there were 2 wards. If they weren't in my ward, they were in the other ward. So we just give them the paper, go over there. Leave me alone. But the thing that got me was people coming in. I need help. Do you know how to read? Yes. What do you need help with? I don't know who to vote for. What? There's newspaper. Wait, you did say you know how to read, right? Yes. There's newspapers. There's a thing called television. Have you ever watched it? There's the internet. Do you have a computer? Do you have a smartphone? Are you smart? Yeah. Well, no, I couldn't. No. But it was all messed. I mean, people coming in. I actually had married couples helping each other with electronic voting. It was funny. I felt like I was I was working a grocery checkout. Paper or plastic? Paper or plastic? Because you had the regular write-in votes, and then we had one electronic machine. We had about 8 paper booths and 1 electronic machine. Why don't they reverse it? Because the electronic machines can be hacked. They can all be hacked. It's going to be sent electronically no matter what, which is really bad. But it was horrendous. 5 o'clock in the morning, we had to set up. 6 o'clock, the people started storming in. I felt like a soldier on D-Day. Everybody coming and attacking. D-Day was World War II. No, I was not there. It was before my time. Shut up, Darren. I heard that. So, anybody belong to Planet Fitness? No, I'm the only Planet Fitness member in here.
Yeah.
Pre-Planet Fitness, post-Planet Fitness. Anyways, I have a son. Okay, he's probably about the same age as most of you. God, I wish I was that age. He used to be in Job Corps. He got busted one year. He got busted his last day at Job Corps for 0.03 grams of weed. Right? He got locked up 18 hours. To this day, he still cannot eat an egg salad sandwich. Yeah. He cannot eat one. I had to go to court with him a month and a half after he got home. In Indiana. Okay? We go to the courthouse, and the bailiff is telling everybody not affiliated with the cases to wait outside. I'm sorry, that's my son. I'm going in. So I sat in the back very quiet. Yes, I was quiet.
Lies.
Anyways, they call my son up. Do it now. The judge calls him up. And in my mind, I'm thinking, he's on his knees crawling up to the judge. Please, sir, please, I don't want to be stuck in a cell with blah, blah. I don't smoke. Well, actually, he does smoke, but you get the idea. Yeah. But actually, he went up very politely and professionally. They read him his rights. And he had to pay, well, not he, his father had to pay a $350 fine. He had to stay out of Indiana, well, out of trouble in Indiana for a year. As soon as we walked out of the courthouse, first words out of his mouth was, "I'm never flipping coming back to Indiana again." Actually, went back twice within that year. So yeah. But anyways, what was ironic? If anybody remembers CSI crime scene investigations, the one in Vegas, if they remember Paul Melander, that's who the judge looked like. It was weird. I was always thinking he's gonna kill somebody and put Grissom's prints on the evidence. But anyways, I'm gonna give it back to Thomas. Thank you very much.
Give a round of applause for Phil Burns giving us some impersonations of CSI Indiana, which would be CSI Pence Plantation. The cops would be incompetent or would blame the KKK. Now, Phil, you mentioned working out, and I commend you on that. You go to Planet Fitness. I bought an elliptical, and so I work out on the elliptical while I watch pornography. I like to set realistic goals. And I also use something I know will work, Jane Fonda aerobics. You know, you do the knee lifts and the grapevine and the pay the landlord. Haven't been evicted yet. No, the next comedian, after seeing me do those moves, knowing I live in Albany Park, he gonna put me on stroll. Give a round of applause for Johnny Cuevas!
Thomas Bottoms, everybody! Put your hands together! Come on, let's get this energy up in here! Let's do this shit! Hi, everybody. My name is Johnny Cuevas, and if you can't tell by my face or my last name, I am a Latino. And I come from a large family. I'm the youngest of 5. Normally, when I tell people that I'm the youngest of 5, they assume that I'm spoiled, but that's not the case. Because my parents were really good at letting me know I was not wanted. For instance, the first few years of my life, I thought my name was El Accidente. You guys speak Spanish? That's awesome. You guys are cool. I like you guys. They used to give me little subtle reminders, you know, like also I used to, like absolutely everything I had was a hand-me-down. Like, I didn't know clothes fit till I was 15. I was like, what the heck is this? Comfort? That's crazy. Like, I once had a 20-minute conversation with my dad when he tried to convince me that a picture of my older brother was a picture of me. I can tell you guys, my brother's 11 years older than me. He was born in the 70s. I was born in the 80s. Those backgrounds don't match. I was like, look, Dad, I love you, but you're full of it. First of all, you have a perm in this picture. And bell bottoms. And Mom looks happy. So I know never seen her look like that in my life. When I was a kid, I used to think I had bad luck, but then I realized what I really had was comedic timing applied to life. You know, but the difference is subtle yet palpable. I'll give you an example. The only time I ever underestimate the weight of a door is when I try to open it for a pretty lady. And then some man has to come open it for both of us. I hate that guy. So I decided to compare my two lives, my comedic life versus my real life. And I say versus because that's what it is. What's good for one is never good for the other. That's why if you see two comics talking at the end of the night in the back of the room and one of them's laughing, that just means somebody died in the other one's family. Comics are sick. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, when bad things happen to me, I don't even feel them anymore. I'm just like, oh shit, this is horrible, but this is going to be like 10 minutes. So. You know what I'm saying? That's how I write. People are like, how do you write, Johnny? I just have bad stuff happen to me, and then I add time. Tragedy plus time equals comedy. It's a survival instinct. After the apocalypse, the only things that are going to be left are comics and roaches. But it's not all good. There are things we don't handle well. Recently, I got a rejection email for an audition I didn't even go to. I was devastated. Also, you can't underestimate the time part of that equation. You can go out too early. Recently, I had a month where my entire life, every aspect of it, fell apart. And I couldn't wait to do a set about it. I should have waited. Because not only did I bomb horrifically, but every comic on that show came up to me afterwards to ask if I was thinking about killing myself. And when I said no, they said, "Oh, 'cause you should be." So let that be a lesson. You can go out too early, and what you write will sound something like halfway between a joke and a cry for help. And if you don't believe me, here are several examples. I pooped nothing but vodka for the last 2 weeks. Now that could be a cry for help or super cool diet. I might be miserable, but at least I can now fit all the slim fit shirts I accidentally bought. As an effort to do something positive for my body, I've made the decision to do push-ups. And because of that decision, I've fallen asleep on the floor face first 3 nights in a row. I had to update that joke from 2 to 3 because I did it again. Don't you hate when you finally confess to somebody that you're having a total mental breakdown and their response is still? And then you're like, say what? I just got the light, so, according to Phil Burns, that means keep going. Homeless people have been talking to me like we're peers lately. It's like, what do they know? Don't you hate when you're having a really good cry, and then all of a sudden you realize, oh damn, I'm leading a meeting right now? I'm starting a solitaire tournament. I'm not selling tickets. I just want to be alone. I'm not bipolar, but my luck is. Don't you hate when you finally tell somebody that you're horribly depressed and their response is, tell me about it, me too? I wish I could say it, but go yourself. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, man. Especially when their reasons are better than yours. It's like we all know the first step's the hard one. You know? Everybody knows Jackie Robinson's name. Nobody knows the second guy. So I'm going to end on this. People are saying that political correctness is ruining comedy. I used to be one of those people. I used to agree with them. And then I received an email for a booking at a place. And in this email, the manager of the place that booked me said, we at the club would like for you to refrain from discussing the following 3 topics. And this is what it said verbatim. Rape, spousal abuse, and retarded children. That's what it said in the email. And honestly, if it wasn't for this email, I never would have put all 3 into the same joke. So those who say that it's ruining comedy, I don't think you're working hard enough. Thank you very much. My name is Johnny Cuevas. Give it up for your host, Thomas Bottom!
Johnny Cuevas, everybody. Give him a round of applause. Johnny, I relate to your pain. I've had those dark days where, you go online and you try to find, non-painful ways to commit suicide. And they give you those 1-800 numbers, but those people never give me pointers. Give a round of applause for Jason behind the bar.
Yeah!
Are we drinking tonight? Life's too short to be sober. If you're not drinking, you can buy me a drink. We have $3 domestic bottles, $4 well drinks, and $4 Jaeger and Fireball shots. So if you want to give me a shot in my mouth, I'm ready for it. And if you want to buy me a drink, I'm gonna vodka. I'm a vodka man. It's my little black dress. It goes with everything. Someone one time shouted, vodka and prune juice. That's called the colon blow, honey. You'll be good by morning. Now, our next comedian, not only is he a Doctor Who fan, but he's apparently a thief. He stole from my house. Stole from my house on Memorial Day, where we're supposed to honor our fallen troops. Who I had to buy him an Uber because there was a shooting in my neighborhood.
This is true.
But he still managed to walk out with Lance Armstrong's missing testicle. I'm not joking, like that's what the card says. Give a round of applause for Darren Marshall!
Oh my god, Thomas Vons, everybody. Oh my god. So Thomas is on Q4, so am I. I have my own show, News What News, 4 to 6 on Tuesdays. I just got from the show. And we do breaking news, and oh my god, you would not believe what happened today, people. Stay away from romaine lettuce. They found that you cannot trust romaine lettuce, that you have to, because it's apparently, they found some that's contaminated with a really nasty strain of E. coli. Yeah, so, toss it. Scrub down everything. Make sure you get rid of everything. Make sure that it's disinfected. But enough about Ivanka Trump's emails. Come on now. Okay, who's a Democrat? Who's a liberal? Yeah, if you're a Democrat, liberal, progressive, come on now. Stop with the lock her up thing. You don't lock up somebody because of emails. If you want to lock her up for her designer clothing line. For crying out loud. Oh my god. This whole thing, this whole family is nuts. It's like we have a president that does not like a rake. And it's kind of obvious if you looked at his hair, he does not like rakes. And Ivanka actually managed to get some 5 patents from China. 5 patents. 4 of them were for clothing, but one of them was actually for voting booths. Ivanka Trump getting a patent for voting booths. That's like me getting a patent for a dating app, and I would patent my dating app just like I would design my dating app just like I would design her voting booths. It's like swipe left, okay, it's my profile. Swipe left, still my profile. Swipe left again, still my profile. Swipe right, oh, it's a vote. Swipe left. It just doesn't make sense. I'm serious. But the other thing, I'm a big Twitter person. That's why I kind of have this up here. I've noticed. Has anybody noticed that Fox News has been persona non grata from Twitter for about 2 weeks now?
November 8th.
November 8th. Yeah, it's crazy. And the fun thing about it though is, it's kind of sort of like the apocalypse. If Twitter was the apocalypse, and the lack of Fox News is like you went to heaven. Same thing. Yeah. But yeah, I'm a big Twitter fan. I have a News What News Twitter feed, and I follow a lot of the politicians, but I also follow celebrities. One of the celebrities I follow is Matt Lucas. Who's heard of Matt Lucas?
Yeah.
Little Britain? Doctor. He's also on Doctor. Anyway, he did this. He did this one hashtag. Hashtag lose a letter, ruin a book. So I'm in. So here's some of the ones that I decided on. Miser. Instead of misery. Miser. The Oi of Sex. The Bile. For all you atheists out there. Jan Austen. Actually, I think that's a book. Hold on for a second. Let me see if I can find. Here's a quote. Here's a quote from one of Jan Austen books. It is indolence, and love of ease, a one of all laudable ambition of taste for good company. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, that's it for my time. Let's give it back up for Thomas Bombs.
Darren Marshall, talking about Ivanka Trump. He's on News What News on Q4 Radio. Reach him out if you ever want to be a guest and talk about the news. I don't want to be that person, but I always have a going to hell joke, and this is my going to hell joke. No matter where we go with these emails, Ivanka won't do a day of jail time. She ain't gonna have any problem. She has the get out of jail free card of a daddy touched me. So as everyone's screaming, lock her up, she'll cry about the story where daddy was touching her, screaming, knock her up. Oh, I told you, going to hell joke, honey. It's going to hell joke. I mean, that's how, like, Susan Smith and with Casey Anthony, it was like, oh, daddy touched me, and so that's why you killed your children? I don't know, my father used to beat me. Is there a list on the internet of what I can get away with? Daddy beat you, you can rob 2 banks. Bullied relentlessly in high school, run for Republican senator and take revenge. No, too soon. All right, let's give a round of applause for our next comedian. She's been on my radio show, Bottoms of the Barrel. She's been making the rounds. Give a round of applause for Steph Charaska.
Thank you. How's everybody feeling on this roasty toasty night, yeah? Yay! Winter is here in Chicago, folks. Ain't that grand? So who here knows what cuffing season is? Yeah. Woo! All right, you are from the Midwest. Everybody else is a transplant. So cuffing season is, so in the Midwest, it gets really, really cold in the wintertime, and no one wants to leave their apartments. So we all like to lock something down in early fall so we don't have to repeatedly go out to get rejected. So that kind of starts, beginning of September, goes to like Halloween-ish, but like no real commitment in there, like no couples costume situations happening. You just happen to be at the same party and look super hot for Halloween. And so, like, the final tryouts end up around the first week of November. Guys, I didn't make the cut. I know. What a bummer. I really should have known. I should have seen it coming down the horizon. 26-year-old musician. Really? Like, I thought I found the one guy who was gonna break the stereotype. He was the lead singer. Come on! But we were like dating-ish, sort of, kind of. I let him inside me more than 3 times. Hey, it was good. And then this guy ghosted me. After 3 months. Like, I've had the Tinder ghost before, where it's just like, you have the intermittent conversation of like, hey, what's up? Hey, what's going on? And then you never get on the same schedule. You never can actually figure out a time on your schedule. It's just like something to keep your fingers occupied. And so, yeah, this was like my first time a guy actually ghosting me after, romantical altercations started happening. And I was pissed. Oh my. It is one of the most disrespectful things to just like up and leave. Like, how rude! How rude! Like, at least have the cojones enough to say, hey, I'm out. Like, that's it. Just one text message and be like, no thanks. Yeah. That's it. Like, it can be unkind, but at least it's final. Ghosting, it's just like, I'm disappearing into the ether. And I did what every, like, self-respecting woman, feminist does when something like this happens. I go to the internet and search crazy blogs with crazy answers why. And I found like this subset of women who like have this dating thing down to a really kind of scary science. And it's very clear their only goal is to get a husband. Because their advice to like stave away the pain of ghosting is to date 4 to 5 men at a time. These women don't have lives outside of dating. Like, I'm a comedian, I'm an artist, I have an apartment that needs to be cleaned all the time because it's huge. Like, how am I going to have time to date 4 to 5 men at a time? Like, gently see perhaps, but like, date? No one's got the time. But in order to vent my frustration, I turned to social media, and I picked the most epic way to like really just make myself feel better about the situation. So I asked my Insta followers through Insta stories, like, so I have this guy's shirt, he ghosted me, what do I do with the shirt? And just kind of like crowdsourced the opinion. Burning it was the #1 choice, y'all. In either a ceremony or just a dumpster fire. You get to pick what kind of flames. One was use it as a rag. And I'm like, all right. Reduce, reuse, recycle. That's important. My favorite was put it on a snowman. It was so cute. And, like, I went to bed feeling better about the situation, which was a nice little resolution for me. Lo and behold, though, the next morning, Ghoster zombifies, raises his butt up from the dead, and texts me! Hey! Pretty much an apology of, like, sorry I ghosted. This guy's tail was, like, straight between his legs, like, oh my god, I'm totally a jerk. I know it. And, like, he wrote me this long message. I'm like, okay, if I see you, I won't throw daggers at you with my eyes. Like, we're cool. But I'm keeping the shirt. Thanks so much. That's my time. I'm Steph Charaska.
Steph Charaska, everybody. Give her a round of applause. We're going to keep this going. This man is named after one of my favorite vodkas. Give a round of applause for Tito!
All right, Thomas, I never heard that one before. What's going on, you guys? You having a good time? Yeah. You guys enjoying this night? It's fun, right? Man, I'm from Chicago. Now we got this cold weather, man. Anybody here dating? Steph just mentioned it. Yeah, once it's cold, man, you start thinking about being in a relationship, right? Now, I've been single for a really long time, like a little too long. You know what I'm saying? Like, starting to mess with me. Now especially that it's cold, you start to miss the little things about a relationship, man. Like the little things, Like, they call it the, human touch, right? Anybody ever just miss a warm body to hold them at night and let you know everything's gonna be alright, I find myself being a little desperate, right? Just the other day, I caught myself getting on the bus just so someone could pass out on my shoulder, But when that happens, I'm ready for them. I'm gonna hold their hand, kiss their head, tell them I love them, I'm gonna treat that person like the king or queen they are. right? Well, until we get to their stop, and then I'm like, ooh, get off me, right? I'm literally the opposite of the guy that jerks off on the L, right? It's more intimate, more in your face. Right? I am getting a little desperate though, man. I am, you know? Because I like to drink, and recently when I've been drinking, I've been getting a little handsy, right? Getting a little too handsy, right? Like, I'm pretty sure the other night, when I got home, I sexually harassed my comforter. I don't know. You know how I know? It's because when I woke up, my comforter was sleeping on the futon, right? And when I got close to it, it just kept curling into a ball, right? And I could see that it's been crying all night because it's got the mascara stains everywhere, right? Like, it's one thing to, like, have feelings. It's another to not be able to talk, which I'm grateful for, because the last thing I need are more accusations. You know what I'm saying? How embarrassing is it if your comforter takes you to court and you lose custody of your pillows, right? That's embarrassing, right? You imagine a girl coming over, doesn't see any bed sheets. She's like, where are your bed sheets? And I'm like, it's their week with the comforter, right? It's crazy out here, man. You're trying to date, you know? You know, they say it's true, right? When you're young, it's easy to love and hard to have sex. When you're older, it's easy to have sex but harder to love. You know, because I found out that the hard way. Because it turns out that girls tend to sleep with me, but they don't tend to stick around, you know? As I found out that my penis does this little magic trick, right? Turns out when girls sleep with me, they end up figuring out how they feel about another dude, which is a magic trick, right? I got the magic thumb. It is hard to date though, man. It's hard to date. You know why it's hard to date? Because it's expensive. It is. It costs money to date y'all. Take y'all out, dinner and all that jazz, you know? Now, I'm not saying I'm poor. Right? That's a different level. I am what they call American broke. Yeah? You know you American broke because you went to college, right? That's because you have no money now. It's unfortunate that that's the reason why. That's not the joke I wanted to say. Anyways, let me tell you guys a little bit about myself. I grew up here in Chicago. I grew up in Logan Square. And when I was very little, man, my family joined a Pentecostal church. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Pentecostals, but they're pretty Bible-based and very strict, right? Like, there's no such thing as evolution. Adam and Eve are real. You know, like that whole nine. So we joined the church. And the first year they had a Halloween party, but they didn't call it that. They called it a Hallelujah night. So my family got real excited, and they dressed me up, and we went. So we walk in and walk down the stairs, and once I walk in, everybody just turns around, looks at me in utter shock. Turns out my family didn't read the full flyer, right? It was a costume party, but it said Bible characters only. Because to their surprise, I went dressed as a dinosaur. Right? Literally ruffled some feathers. You know? So after a while, I'm starting to hear people talk. You know how Christians are, right? So I'm standing in the middle of the room holding my tail, wiping my tears. And some guy comes to me and he's like, is everything okay? And I just look up, I'm like, are there any dinosaurs in the Bible? And he just looks at me and he pauses and he's like, yeah, they're in the back. So for years I thought there was dinosaurs in the back of the Bible. I just couldn't find them. Right? In the first grade, I started telling all my friends, I'm like, do you guys know there's a Bible in the back? There's a dinosaur in the back of the Bible? And they're like, you're an idiot. That's my time. My name is Tito. I tried. Bye.
Round of applause for Tito with his really kick-butt t-shirt.
Yeah!
And also being named after Darren Marshall's favorite Jackson brother.
Yeah!
Darren, you're the only one who owns those albums. And I listen to Pia Zadora and Tracy Lawrence. Judgments. We're gonna bring up our next comedian. He's straight out of the asylum. Give him a round of applause for Brian Johnson.
Anyone watch The Connors yet? Didn't think so. Oh, you did? All right. What? That's of all the times when they took. That's the first time I got someone. It's a pretty new joke though. But, well, they killed Roseanne off. They said she died of opioid addiction. And a lot of people, particularly white wingers, are saying it was her freedom of speech. She should have been fired. Yes, she did have the right to say it. However, most TV shows, movies, if you're gonna do an album, they have a clause in your contract that says if you say something racist, homophobic, sexist, transphobic, you name it, on social media, they can let you out of your contract. So ABC was right to fire her. But I think what they should have done is since they did hire Roseanne Barr of all people, they should have had a clause in her contract that said if she says something offensive, she has to come back for one more episode so they can properly kill off her character. I think they should have had one final before they switched from Roseanne to the Connors. I think they should have had one final episode of Roseanne where she runs off and joins the KKK.
Oh shit!
I can just see it now. Dan, I joined the Klan. Can we have meetings in the basement? I think with Kanye West's recent behavior, we can all agree that Kanye West is the Ted Nugent of hip-hop. Actually, Kanye West is a real-life version of the black white supremacist Lindsey Shaw show.
Oh.
Actually, Kanye West is the illegitimate son of Ben Carson. Alright, that was a new one. That one sucked. Yeah, I thought about. I tried expanding my Kanye joke. It worked for the. It was like what's a movie that starts? It was like that recent movie Annihilation starts out good and then you kind of lose you at the end, or like the Fantastic Beasts starts out good but lose you at the end. Let's see. Donald Trump recently, as it was mentioned earlier, he didn't go to the World War I memorial in France because of the rain. But what I don't get is this. Donald Trump is afraid of rain showers, yet he loves golden showers. I don't get it. But of course, the guy who couldn't go on the rain, who says he would have went into Parkland without a gun. But I think he would have. I think if he had a gun, he would have gone in. But like a true American, he would have shot those kids. You know how a lot of right wingers are saying those kids are worse than Nazis. So, but I understand where those kids are coming from. Like, I think you should, if you're responsible, you should have a right to own a gun. Like, if you're responsible, saying like if you think Trump was anointed by God, then you're too stupid to own a gun. That's my thought. What? What was that? Oh, you're talking? Okay, it's cool. It's cool. I know. I have a reputation of being one of the most honorable comics on the scene. There are a few people who don't like me, but they usually get shut down. But I'm bald, and yeah, I am bald. Been balding since I was a teenager, and I'm also an advocate for victims of abuse. So because I was sexually assaulted when I was 4. So I've become like an autistic Patrick Stewart. They're talking about rebooting Twilight, which I think is a terrible idea. I hated Twilight when I was in theaters, but I realized something with Twilight. I realized why I'm a good person from when Twilight was. I didn't know it was so bad. I remember when Twilight was out. Every time young girls would see it, like 12-year-olds, they'd see the guys and they'd be like, ah! You know what? That's why I could never be a pedophile. Yeah, that's the only reason. Alright, I'm gonna close with this. Anyone watch Beavis and Butthead when it was on the air? Yeah! They used to have to open with this Disclaimer, Beavis and Butthead are not role models. As a matter of fact, they're not even human. They're cartoons. Some of the things they do can cause a person to get hurt, expelled, arrested, and possibly deported. Put it another way, don't try this at home. I think since people like to act, since a lot of rednecks like to act like Trump, there was that one guy who did that disgusting thing of rope that woman in the place said, well, Trump said it was okay. I think they need to have a disclaimer like that when Trump comes on the screen. Say something like, Donald Trump is not a role model. As a matter of fact, he's not even human. He's a narcissist. Some of the things he does can cause a person to get hurt, expelled, arrested, and possibly deported. Put another way, don't try this at home. And don't try this at home, kids. Don't try stand-up at home. Bye.
Brian Johnson, everybody, give him a round of applause. I haven't watched The Connors, but I know a big part about the Roseanne reboot. And in the humble words of the president, if every church and every teacher and every schoolroom had an armed guard, as Roseanne said in the launch, he offered to create jobs. Well, armed guards does create jobs. You now have the budget for someone to protect your outlets. Okay, economics. Our next comedian coming to the stage is Amit Joshi!
Keep it going for Thomas. Doing a great job. So Halloween just passed a couple of weeks ago. But I still find myself in costume from time to time. Yesterday, I dressed up in full workout gear and just sat on the couch all day to watch TV. They call this phenomenon athleisure, but it's just leisure. There's no ath to it. I don't understand it. Like, my wife wears Lululemon yoga pants just to go shop for more Lululemon yoga pants. I don't know. I had no intention to go to the gym anyway. I think I'm just trying to go to the gym so that I can find a new friend. I'm originally from Nashville, Tennessee. I just moved here recently on November 4th, 2013. I'm 33 now, and it is hard to make new friends at 33. Like, all my friends back home, they were like really good, close friends. And let me just say this, by close, I mean we hang out all the time, don't know anything about each other. Like, guys don't talk about anything real. Like, there's no real talk, there's no deep conversation, but they are very trustworthy. I trust them with my life. Like, I'm looking for a friend that goes, hey, yo, bro, smell my balls. Smell my balls, bro. Like, that is a good, trustworthy friend. Bro, your balls smell like Cheetos. What? So last week, I was at the bar. I was just hanging out there by myself, watching the game. And this guy starts chatting it up with me. And, we're talking about the game. We're talking about craft beer. Things are going really great. I don't know if you guys ever people watch, but if you ever notice two guys sitting at the bar, they never look at each other in the face. They only are looking straight at the TV or roaming around following the bartender. Like, what would happen if two guys at the bar locked eyes? Like, the bar explodes? What happens? So we're hanging out there, we're having a great time, we're really hitting it off, and we're just getting hammered. We're pounding drink after drink, and at the end of the night, the game ends, and we're like, what? Let's call it a night. And he goes, hey, I'm Mike, by the way. And I go, oh, that's nice to meet you, man. My name is I'm Amit. Nice to meet you. Let's exchange numbers, man. Maybe we can catch a game sometimes. So we exchange numbers, went our separate ways. About a week goes by, I get this text from Mike. I was like, Mike? Who is Mike? Oh, Mike! So the text said, hey, want to catch the game tonight? And I was like, I wanted to reply back and say, absolutely DTF. I know you're dirty minds are going to a weird place right now, but F stands for friend. All right. But I was like, hey, relax. Don't be so thirsty. All right. So I wanted to play it cool. So I go, yeah, I might be down for that. LMK, what time? And he goes, 8. And I give him the thumbs up emoji. But in my apartment, I start dancing. Like, oh, I'm going to get it. I'm going to get it. I'm going to make me a friend. It's 4 o'clock at this moment. And I'm already getting ready. So I go to the barber shop. I get a fresh cut, fresh shave. I stop for new underwear. I take a shower. I'm lathering up the deodorant. I'm smelling my own balls. Because you never know. My wife comes in and she's like, wait, what? You're putting on cologne? You never put on cologne. I was like, you don't understand, okay? I'm hanging out with Mike in 3 hours and 25 minutes. You're not going to get it, okay? Just stay out of my way. She's helping me pick out clothes. I go through 4 outfits because I feel fat. Finally, I get dressed. My wife, by the way, throughout this whole thing, is like a proud mother on prom night at the bottom of the stairs with her Polaroid camera, like waiting to take a picture of me in my tux. Like, that's how she is throughout this whole thing. So I get to the bar. I get there early, and I'm looking over my shoulder. Every person that enters the bar, I'm like, oh, is that Mike? No, it's just 2 hot blonde girls. Where is Mike? Finally, Mike comes in the door. And I get all giddy inside. I get butterflies. Like, oh. He's sitting next to me. We're having drinks. We're watching the game. We know the drill by now. We're not supposed to look at each other. We share cheese curds. Like, it is a big moment. In the back of my mind, I'm like, I think he's the one. And then something amazing happens. He goes, hey, watch my drink. I got to go to the restroom. And you know how normal people walk with their left foot forward and their right hand forward? This guy was walking with synchronized arms, like the way that he was walking looked like how people go skiing. No, I don't think you get it. The way that he was walking looked like how Donkey Kong runs in the jungle. I don't think you still get it. The way that he was walking looks like the way Michael Phelps does the breaststroke. And I was like, no, I freaked out because how is this guy exercising on the elliptical? Like, I can't be friends with somebody that doesn't use the arms on the elliptical. So I paid both of our bills, and I was like, you know what, this is worth it. I bounce. I go home, I see my wife, and I'm like, oh my God, you won't get it. Like, this guy, everything was going great, and then I had to go because he was walking, and she was like, whoa, calm down. I was like, no, you don't understand. Well, he's calling me. What do I do? She was like, calm down. Just ghost him. And I was like, ghost him? What does ghost him mean? And now, I've been out of the game for 12 years now, okay? Last time I was single, like, President Bush and MySpace were a thing. The good old days. Like, caller ID was barely a thing back when I was single. Can you imagine trying to ghost someone with no caller ID? Well, James, where have you been, James? Why haven't you answered the phone? James would be like... We're sorry, but the number that you have dialed is no longer in service. Please hang up the phone and dial again. Thanks, guys. That's my time.
Round of applause for Amit Joshi, everybody! I'm sorry it didn't work out with that guy, but there might be a few people here who would offer to smell your balls.
Not saying, just saying.
It's okay. He'll try not to do the skiing move, even though he will want to go cross country. Oddly enough, there was a birthday boy tonight. He canceled, but the birthday boy had the distinction of being, in the 10 years I've done stand-up comedy, the one. one comedian that was like, oh, dude, you really need to stop buying me shots. I am going to start flirting with you like there's no tomorrow. And I don't care about... Yeah, he know. Him know. He was the one guy like, dude, stop buying me shots. I don't care about this Colombian woman. I know she will cut me, but there's a back alley, baby. Like, we could do things like... So happy birthday to him. And I always have to emphasize like the one comedian, because there's always the one that has the like, oh God, you didn't bathe today or yesterday, and you showed up in stained sweatpants. It's like, I don't want you. I'm scared of gays. It's like, oh God, no, you have no reason to be. We would send you back. Some people eat at Taco Bell, but as a gay man, that's an occupational hazard. Now our next comedian is unfortunately wearing a sweatshirt. Give a round of applause to Willie Holmar!
Yeah!
That's good. How everybody doing?
Yeah!
What, I wasn't supposed to wear a sweatshirt or something? They told me it was radio. Well, it's kind of hard for me to be here today because as I see, we here at a bar, and I just been diagnosed that I'm an alcoholic from yesterday. I was actually at a bar, and I didn't think I had that much to drink. I had 3 beers and 12 shots. Now, I'll abide by the law. I don't drink and drive, so I made sure I finished it all before I got in the car and started to drive. So here I am. I'm on my way going home. I'm driving down the street. Maybe if you from here, I was in Maywood. And the only thing that's open over there at 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning is Burger King on 1st and Lake Street. So I pull over, I said, well, let me get me something to eat because I know me and my wife want something. Oh, by the way, she would have been here too, but unfortunately her boyfriend picked her up before I got home. So here we are, I'm driving down the street. I'm like laid in the corner. You ever see black guys lean? It's only when you see their hand. You don't see nobody else but their hand. So I'm driving down the street. I pull over to Burger King, go up to the window. I said, she said, hello, may I help you please? I said, yeah, let me get a double Whopper with cheese, extra onions. She said, okay, would that complete your order? I said, do y'all still sell that real thick hamburger meat, the real good one? What's it, the Angus hamburger meat? She said, yes, we still serve that. I said, well, let me get an Angus with some cheese and onions on that. She said, okay, sir, pull around to the corner, around to the window. So I pulled around to the window, came up to the window. The lady came out and she said, here, sir, here's your double Whopper with cheese, extra onions. I was like, cool, thank you. I'm hungry as I don't know what. But then I didn't notice that she had, I kind of noticed at the end, but she had a long Burger King smock on. So she said, I said, where's my other order? Oh, she turned around. I didn't realize that she had pulled her pants down. She turned around to the window. They go to meeting between the booty and the onions and stuff, and I'm like, miss, what is this? She said, you ordered an anus burger. I said, no ma'am. I said, look, I didn't order no anus burger. I ordered an Angus. She said, sir, have you been drinking? I was like, yeah, I have. She said, well, sir, a lot of time when people drink and they get drunk, they forget what they're saying. So I say, okay then, I guess I'll take it.
Yeah, you did.
But I told her, but also too, I told her, I said, but look, I didn't order that ketchup. Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know y'all didn't like ketchup. But some of y'all probably don't even know who I am. My father, he played for the Bears. That's why I don't use my name. My stage name is Big Will. Never work and never will. Now some of y'all probably laughing, but in this administration, a lot of you ain't working now. Now, I've been diagnosed with diabetes. If you're from the South, we call it sugar. I also suffer from high and low blood pressure. I also have sleep apnea. Meaning, if you making love to me, I will go to sleep on you during the process. Now, I suffer from multiple personalities, so if I borrow money from you, there's a good chance you got to wait till my friend come back, whoever he borrowed, who borrowed it from me. Now, I'm kind of shocked right now because as I see, there's only how many black people in here? One. And I think he left.
In the bathroom.
I know, but see, I was raised with the Caucasian family. And then for a while, I didn't even know I was black. Until I did everything. I went to school every day and got grades. But like I say, remember this. November the 14th, it was honorary day for Bernie Mac. And just to give y'all a real quick sample before I get off of here, you remember, I love the Kings of Comedy. And he had did that joke he was talking about, he said, now I'm going to tell you something.
Yeah.
See, you know you successful when white folks come to see you and they sit around here in front, like especially when they go on their lunch, they get that cheese sandwich and they tea, and they go somewhere. But my people, I don't really know about my people. When we break, and that's my time. I'm Big Will, never work.
Big Wheel, everybody! Give him a round of applause! Yes! We're gonna recognize Jason behind the bar. He's giving us our drinks tonight.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's helping Big Wheel deal with his alcoholism, but he's definitely not helping me with my sobriety. I still too sober because I still recognize who our president is. So yeah, Jason's behind the bar. He's giving $3 domestic bottles, $4 well drinks. Vodka's my little black dress. Go ahead and buy me a vodka drink. It goes with everything. I have to emphasize that my birthday this year was on election night.
Oh, okay.
Yes. It was this month. It was 2 weeks ago. It's only been 2 weeks ago. I've been in 4 states in the past 2 weeks. All right, I've been traveling. Anyway, so buy me a vodka drink if you will. Buy me a late birthday present. Or you can buy me a Fireball shot or a Jaeger shot if you really want to burn me when you shoot in my mouth. So go see Jason and buy me a drink. And on election night, my boyfriend, give a round of applause for Mikey Chip, playing behind the camera. With his hipster hat and the Star Wars t-shirt I bought him. Fashion first. And Mikey wanted to watch the election results, and I actually wanted to play Friday the 13th video game. And I wanted to be Jason Part 2, the woodsman with the little bag on my hat. And I believed I was hunting down young Republicans. I only had to hunt down 7, but I killed 8. Yes. Let's give a round of applause for our next comedian. We're going to get some music going. She's a lot better than the last time I sang publicly, where I sang the song Fire and Desire by Rick James and Tina Marie.
No.
Now, Willie, Big Wheel, as you pointed out, we're in a white audience, so let me explain Fire and Desire by Rick James and Tina Marie. The song is 7 minutes long.
Oh my God.
Anna Marie Long sang Rick James, I sang the Tina Marie part. Tina Marie shows up at the 3-minute, 40-minute mark and howls throughout what is left of this 4-minute plus song. And I tried to stretch my Madonna vocals to Tina Marie. Chevy Debbie, who was supposed to be here tonight, gonna call her out, at some point said, "Oh, Lord have mercy, can you please put these dogs to sleep?"
Wolves, actually.
Wolves. We were wolves. We were no longer rabid canines. We were wolves.
Mind you, this was at a party for somebody who passed away.
This was at a memorial service, people. This is what happens when you cut costs and hire Thomas Bottoms instead of a professional singer. Let's give a round of applause. She always hates that no one can pronounce her name, even though she's from Louisiana, and then takes a different toll down there. Give a round of applause for Stephanie Lee Bourgeois.
Hello! You guys mind if I do some songs for you?
Yeah!
We do.
Alright, cool, I'm Stephanie Lee Bourgeois. I wrote this song, it's called Old White Man.
No bird story.
I think I'm okay with it. No, now I don't trust it anymore. This was called Audition. Oh, auditions are hard. They don't show who you are. This one's called Latin Love and Other Things.
Yeah.
Long ago in Mexico, this was way before the wall, I met a girl named Rosa, and my heart began to fall. We went to La Posta, and we shared some enchiladas, and I just want you to know that's not how it goes. And I could tell right away that she liked my empanadas. And oh, empanadas are a stuffed pastry. You can get them with beef or pork, but I prefer them with the cherry filling. Scissoring, 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 scissoring. So we went into the desert and we took off all our shirts, and while we touched each other's bodies, I ducked her in the dirt. And I know you might. That's a for the radio. And I know this might be hard for you if you don't like that sort of thing, but I just want you to know that there is nothing wrong with scissoring. Oh, I looked up scissoring online, and the definition says to move one's legs back and forth to create the motion of scissors. And I just want to say that I think the lesbian community needs to have a long, hard talk with the definition team over at Google. Scissoring, 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 scissoring. Now, it's not listed on my resume, but it is quite a skill. And if you take my word for it, you're in for quite a thrill. 'Cause Rosa moved in with me the very next weekday, and when my mother asked me why, I said it's 'cause we're gay. I'm pretty sure you guys can figure that one out. So if you find yourself in Mexico, do yourself a favor. Look for a pretty girl. She might let you shave her. This song is getting long, and I went off on tangents. The structure isn't strong, and what rhymes with tangents? Hyenas are the crackheads of the Sahara. And zebras are the prisoners. Scissoring, 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 scissoring. Just try it one time. Here's one called I See. I see London and I see France. I see crabbies in my underpants. Don't be sad and don't be mad. I'm not gonna sleep with your old stinking dad. Maybe. Okay, this one's called Bye Bye, and this one's a serious song. Well, I love John Cusack, but I love Joan more. And I love drinking whiskey, but I hate when it makes me snort. And I love a senorita with a spicy margarita. And while I love being flexible, I freaking hate being bisexual. Bisexual, just pick a side, they always say. Bisexual, why can't I be a normal gay? Well, I love when she sweats, 'cause she's flirting on with me. And I love when boys giggle after I touch their little snow peas. Some people say I'm confused. I've spent many days accused, but I'm a better intellectual after being bisexual. Bisexual, everybody, just pick a side, they always say. Bisexual, why can't I be a normal gay? Bisexual, don't say it's 'cause I had no dad. Bisexual, please don't tell my grandma 'cause she'll be mad. I'm gonna leave it right there, guys. Thank you so much.
Stephanie Lee Bourgeois, everybody! Yes! Bringing some queer quoting up in here at Shakers. We're gonna keep it going. Give a round of applause for Andrew Tavin!
Come on, all right. So I think that there are two kinds of people in this world. People who cried every day at rock climbing camp, and people who aren't me. Oh sure, laugh while you can, but if we were all on a plane that crashed in the mountains, only one of us is going to know how to cry himself to death. And now I'm going to ask the question that you're all too afraid to ask. Why is it that when you dip your entire body, including your penis, into a swimming pool, everyone's fine with it? But if you just dip your penis into the swimming pool, people get all weird. And it's like, oh, it's better if I also stick a butt in there? That doesn't make any sense. You can't explain that to me. You know that show that used to be on MTV, My Super Sweet 16?
Yeah.
Yeah, great. So, no. So we know. But for those of you who didn't respond, My Super Sweet 16, it was this show where these 16-year-old girls act like jerks, even though they've been given a very nice party. And I had a friend who was like, oh no, they just edited to make them look like jerks. It's like, alright, but they still had to have said those jerky things, right? Like, was it just like, this cake isn't big enough to feed all the orphans I invited? Or just like, you got me the wrong car, assuming we want an environment for our children. I used to be assuming we want an environment for our grandchildren, and then I moved it up given recent events. But anyway, despite that, no one's ever asked me my ideas for reality shows. So I'm just going to tell them to you. Here we go. Boom. Reality show idea number 1 is for Logo, the lesbian and gay channel. It's called America's Next Top Bottom. Reality show idea number 2 is called.
I have that T-shirt.
Yes, you want.
I straight up own that T-shirt.
Oh, do you? I feel bad now. Well,
Stop bottom, yes.
me and that T-shirt can split the revenue because I didn't know about it. But we're gonna. Me and that T-shirt are gonna go on the road together. Our reality show idea number 2 is called Actual Real Housewives of Atlanta. And it's where you watch a bunch of real Atlanta housewives watch Real Housewives of New York. And then my last reality show idea is just 4 plastic surgeons who hate each other all work on the same celebrity's face.
Oh.
Yeah, it's cutting satire. There we go. That's all right. We get it. I've got a new character I'm working on. You ready for it?
Yeah.
All right. This character, this is a civil engineer explaining why he can't go back to his old job. Okay? Civil engineer explaining why he can't go back to his old job. Just burned too many bridges. And I'm back. All right. Speaking of engineering, what do we think about Elon Musk these days? Yeah. All right. See, I think Elon Musk is like the Willy Wonka of technology. Because you can imagine a bunch of kids dying in his factory. Right? I saw this advertisement that actually made me cry. AT&T put it out during Pride Month. And it was these queer teens coming out to their parents on the phone, and they're like, hey, Mom, Dad, I'm gay, and the parents are like, that's okay, we love you, and then it says AT&T for the calls that matter. Like, that's very nice, but AT&T did not know how that call was gonna go, right? Like, what if they called and the parents were just like, I'm gonna call you back on Verizon, the network for bigots! I was like, can you hear me now? You're going to hell! Right? That wouldn't be good. I'm gonna do, I'll do one more thing and then keep the show moving. If there's one thing I've learned in life, it's that in every group of friends, there's that one friend who everyone else in the group secretly hates. And if you're looking around and you're like, well, wait a second, my friend group doesn't have someone like that. Well, buddy, I got some news for you. Because it turns out that you guys are the exception. That's awesome! You probably have so much fun. Arabin, Tavin, enjoy the rest of your show.
Andrew Tavin, everybody. Give him a round of applause.
Yeah.
Andrew, oddly enough, you talked about reality shows. I've been watching Flavor of Love a lot recently because it's better than the news because it's good to watch people who actually have decorum and respect for others. I did imagine my own person instead of Flavor Flav. It would be me, comedian Thomas Bottoms, in a reality dating show. It would be called From the Bottoms to the Top. We're going to bring up our next comedian. I saw her a week and a half ago when she was on our post-cure-all election show. Give a round of applause for Lindsey Shaw!
Thank you guys. You still in it? I know that couch eats you alive. My favorite part of this bar, I think, is the Thanksgiving nativity scene. Genocide. Another Thanksgiving is here, and another year where I have not grown. I'm really short. This is a nice little pedestal I'm on, but I'm short. AF. It's really funny when people I'm meeting for the first time or someone who hasn't seen me in a while, I know what I feel. I'm like, you're really short. You're really short. Are you an investigator? Thank you. I think Mueller needs some help. Thanks for the fucking intel. I'm aware. I'm really short, and so sometimes I forget that I'm supposed to be an adult. because I look like a 12-year-old with premature grays who smokes. So if I have to pay bills in the IRS, that's weird. Feels disjointed. There's some rides I still can't get on at certain places. It's a sad existence. You know where I did meet the height requirement, though, was jail. They let me right in. Go right ahead. Yeah, jail wasn't fun. Before you go in, you try to psych yourself up. Try to find a silver lining. You're like, oh, all right, fine. Well, okay, I have to go, so I guess I will work out a lot, maybe finish a book, maybe get some braids put in, at least get eaten out. It's a real letdown when you get in the clink. It's a real letdown. Because all it is instant chili. You cook up on a fluorescent light and Cosby reruns. Not that kind, I know. Too soon. He's not in there touching people. At least I wouldn't know. He wasn't in my block. But anyway, a year later, out of jail, not much has really changed. I don't know. You know what? Actually, no. Things might be turning around because I have a day job at the moment. It's contract. No one hires me for real. But I go to an office every day. I went to work the other day. I left. I worked out. I went to, worked out, went grocery shopping, went home, made dinner, went to bed, sober. I felt so grown up. I felt like such an adult. It's the most responsible I felt since leaving my seatbelt on during Roadhead. So we're making strides. We're grown up now. We're growing up. Because those of you who've given Roadhead know that that's no easy task. Real obstacle course, right? Yes.
It is awesome though.
So we can't talk about Roadhead where I work, unfortunately. It's a really stuffy corporate office. Okay, calm down. We're not doing it in here. Anyway, so do you work in an office, sir? Do they allow you to talk like that? Do you work, or you drive for Uber? What are you doing?
I do security.
Cool. Okay, back to me. I work in an office. It sucks. For any of you that work in an office from 9 to 5, it's a different world. They speak a different language. Midday, someone will come up to you out of nowhere. Let's circle back EOD. What's your bandwidth? Are you talking about my spank size? What the fuck are you talking about? Oops, sorry. Oops. What the heck are you talking about? I'll ping you later. No, you will not. That sounds too close to pegging. Ping me. That sounds offensive. You will not ping anyone. I take issue with a lot of the fashion choices in a corporate office. The ladies, a lot of the females like to wear bold paisley prints that scream, I bring the buffalo chicken dip to Super Bowl parties. We know. We know, Carol. We know you like that. And they stomp around in DSW pumps like they're storming the beaches of Normandy for a cupcake. It's gonna still be there, babe. Calm down. Why are you walking so heavy? Relax. You're gonna bust a Marshall's pump. Men, please stop wearing suit jackets with jeans. Now I know that that's what I'm wearing right now. It's very different on a male. It's very different on a male who's wearing like jeans from Express and like his, Men's Warehouse suit jacket. It's like Republican Party on top, rapey business on bottom, and I'm personally offended. Please stop doing it. I guess you guys aren't familiar with this look and you're lucky. You've dodged bullets. What else? I lost you on rapey bottom? I'm sorry. Sorry for that visual. To supplement income, though, when I'm not working in a corporate job, I walk dogs. If you're off the clock doing security, you might want to walk dogs. It's a fun little occupation. Especially when you own a cat like I do, you compare. Like, oh, okay, so dogs get treats periodically. When does my cat deserve a treat? Oh, I know. When she's not perched at the end of my bed staring at me like Haley Joel Osment when I'm masturbating. I see a single person. Get the fuck out of here. It's funny, too, because dogs come with bios for these these dog walking apps. They come with a bio, and it's like triggers. They have triggers. Squirrels, cars, cats, other dogs. It's a dog. I'm ready for the triggers to say whiskey, cocaine, and when the Tinder doesn't text back. I've thrown the towel in on dating apps, literally, because the last Bumble I hooked up with made me squirt. And that's a real mess. It's like a water main break. I don't recommend it. It's not cute. Looked like something out of Hurricane Harvey in my bedroom. FEMA was supposed to pick
him up, but they never showed. You've heard of Dine and Dash. He got out of there real quick. It was like a squirt and skirt. He left real quick. Thanks. You guys have been great. Thank you so much.
Round of applause for Lindsey Shaw, describing her last sexual encounter like Hurricane Harvey and similar to the South I don't want to visit. Round of applause, Lindsey Shaw. Are we ready for our headliner?
Yeah.
Give it up for Branden Beanz Parker!
Give it up for Thomas. Give it up for Thomas. Woo! Say, hell no, how you doing? What was that? This feels like a real stage. I do shows to be in somebody's garage. You know what I mean? Got a little karaoke set right there. So in case y'all didn't notice, I am in fact a black man. Proud to be black, happy to be black. We do stuff different, man. You know, when I was growing up, my grandma gave us Tylenol for everything. Headaches, a broken nose, twisted ankles. Tylenol is all we had. One day my cousin came in the house shot. He got shot twice in the chest. My grandma told him to say, go in there and get some of that extra strength Tylenol. You'll be alright. Yeah, I'm gonna sure miss him though. He died that day. Yeah, we had a nice funeral though. It was great. There's a lot of vanilla people in here. I like white people, man. I love white people. You know what I'm saying? We do stuff different, man. White people give their dog their last name. What's the dog's name? His name is Scooter Pazinski. Hey, how you doing? My dog don't even come in the house. I be standing outside looking at him through the window, drinking hot chocolate. Like, I hope you're gonna be all right. Hang in there, boy. I'm from Chicago, man. I'm born and raised on the south side. The west side is going crazy. I don't know if you all heard about this, the tranny thing going on out west. You know, it might be a Facebook thing. I don't know if y'all heard about that. But apparently, there's been a lot of, quote-unquote, thugs or straight guys, low-key, hanging out with the trannies. Which is, you know, it's 2018. But my whole thing is, if you're going to be on the DL, as they say, you know, be a little bit more smooth about it. Don't text. You know, don't send emails. You know what I'm saying? Call me, you know. That's what I do. So. Y'all get that tomorrow. Y'all get that tomorrow. Dating, 3-4 comedians came up here to talk about dating, man. Dating is hard. I'm trying to date. But the whole booty eating thing is getting out of control. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is really a thing. People eating booty. You know? My whole thing about it is, you know, if that's what you like, fine. We together, you know, I'll hook you up. But I just feel like if you're going to let me go on your booty, I should be able to go on other things. You know, like your purse. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can catch hepatitis C, but I can't get $10. Like, what type of stuff is that, you know? And mind you, I've been drinking, and I understand this is a FCC regulated thing, so I'm trying my best. You know, not to cut. I'm gonna take a little drink on that.
Doing good.
Gosh darn it! Dang it! Fudge cake. So yeah, a lot of comedians always talk about church and stuff. You know how black people stay in church all day and white people go to church for an hour and go home. Nowadays, I think that's reversed because I just recently went to one of my white buddies' churches and stuff. It was cool, but they serve real wine in there. So I stayed in there extra 4 hours. You know what I'm saying? Bring me one more. Bring me one more. And with that, I think I'm going to give the stage back to Thomas. My name is Branden Parker. Y'all be great.
Woo! Branden Parker, everybody, give him a round of applause. Yes! Branden, I have to say that you talked about like married men and everything, and I had to dump a married man one time because he was of Middle Eastern descent, and he paid for everything with his credit card. I'm like, that woman gonna go crazy. Like you are leaving a paper trail, and I don't want her at my house. Like our relationship's over. It is. And I'm sorry you feel uncomfortable around all the white people, but you know my street name's Vanilla Cream. So people put me on cake, but I taste good on a cookie too. But I do gotta say that about 10 years ago, I was on a date with a guy in Chicago, and he smiled at me and he said, "Hey Thomas, you want some hot chocolate tonight?" And I said, "Yeah, if you can handle this salty cracker." I went home alone and haven't seen him since. So this has been the Bottoms of the Barrel Comedy Show. Yay! We aimed low for success, which means the show took place. Round of applause for Jason and Shakers. And by the way, no one bought me a birthday drink or a birthday shot, and I'm angry that no one wants to put a shot in my mouth. Angry, I'm gonna do a chicken move for YouTube. This has been Bottoms of the Barrel. We do this every third Tuesday of the month here at Shakers 3160 North Clark. We are on Q4 Radio, AM 1680, Q4.org. The show will go on YouTube. If you're listening on the radio, we are followed by the magic hour. And as I always like to say, next time you leave your house, be a decent person. Woo! Have a great holiday. Woo!